Man, I used to be like y'all. I was out here in the cold, didn't know what to wear. I'd have a date, I might be late, didn't know what to do. Tactical distributors changed my life. Impossible 15 got me 15% off. It was like a fashion mullet. Business up front, party in the back.
Really? You're going to sneeze in the middle of my intro. So, Jason's going to be here. We're going to talk about Africa. We're going to talk about hunting in general. We're going to talk about what they're doing, what we're doing, what he should be doing, what I know I'm doing, and what Jay needs to step up to. So, we appreciate you listening.
I think every time we hang out, we just become better and better friends with this crew.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So, Jason Vincent's here with us. He's from Field Ethos. He's going to explain what the fuck he's doing and who they are. And I can't wait. So,
it's kind of hard to do, man.
Why do you have like an hour? Go ahead.
Yeah. So we are a media brand. We put out unapologetic content for dudes like us, right? Guys that feel like we've been abandoned by the outdoor industry, like the type of stuff that our granddads had access to when they were younger, and they wanted to read an article that was unapologetic.
Mike and I were just talking about it, like even how Hollywood, it was like a big deal to go hunting in Africa. Yeah. We're just so woke and ignorant now.
Man, it's like the woke culture that I absolutely hate. I can't stomach it. Don can't stomach it. So we decided.
Well, let's just stop there. A couple things. First off, Field Ethos, your logo, pretty cool. The F and the E. I came up with a great idea in the shower this morning.
What's that?
And you just reminded me.
Okay.
Just a red marker slash through the E and a red marker U and an unapologetic adventure. We have a new shirt.
I like it.
I think we should use it for our next hunt.
Yeah.
Next, okay, so Field Ethos, there's Jason Vincent, and you say Don. So we're talking about Donald Trump Jr.
Correct, yeah.
And that man, he lives the life.
Dude, he lives a fun life, but I tell you what, the dude works his ass off. Dude.
He does. He's very high energy. In that way, he seems to be his father's son.
Yeah.
However, my man is interested in fishing and hunting and adventure. And if you follow him on Instagram or you know him personally and he sends you pictures, how does he have time to do anything other than fish and hunt?
Let me talk about that dude for a second. So everyone that looks at him like, he's a Trump, whatever, billionaire son. Yeah, those things are 100% true, right? But he took the opportunities he had growing up and used those opportunities to really invest in the outdoors and hunting and fishing. Yeah. And he had access to being able to do some things that not everybody gets to do, but he really used that access to really dig in there and become one of the most proficient outdoorsmen I've ever met. And I know a ton of guys. I mean, you know me, I hunt a lot, hang out with some high-level hunters, high-level anglers, and I would put Don at the top of all of them, within the top 5 of the best hunters I know, top 5 of the best long-range shooters I know, the best.
Yeah,
he's the
he
best
and Eric
fly
are both
fisherman.
into extreme long range, like shooting 2 mile.
He's the best fly fisherman I know. Dude, the guy can do it all, and he's fearless. We just had earlier in the year.
Even my hunting with him, I would say that's true.
Dude, he's fearless.
Like he's different than what you would think. Like for me being from the South, he's clearly not from the South.
Nope.
Like he's from New York. But he is so passionate about hunting and shooting and doesn't need somebody to carry his bag, gut his animal, do any of his stuff, get the fuck out of the way. He wants to be
Get
first.
out of his way, dude.
Yeah.
We were in Alaska, and his son, Donnie, who we spent 7 days in Alaska. I think it was December or January, one of those two. So cold as shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Miserable conditions. 7 days in Alaska. It rained on us. It snowed on us. Tons of wind, just gnarly. And Donnie did not complain once. So not only is Don a badass, he's raising a badass son. But we went, Donnie shot a goat in an area where it went down into this rock crevice we're talking, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet up, almost vertical.
So
and
this is a full day recovery.
yeah, full day recovery. And we got to a spot where the guide was like, all right, I'm going up there by myself. And Don was like, no, I'm going with you. And the guy's like, dude, it's super sketch where we're getting ready to go. And Don was like, I'm coming. And so Don and that guide, Scott Newman, one of the most legendary guides in Alaska, just awesome dude. So shout out to you, Scott. Love you, miss you. He and Don had to scale this area with ropes. And Scott told me when we came down, he's like, dude.
Yeah, if it's Boondock Saints, if you're pulling ropes into the equation, Jay is sketchy.
Like the Charlie Bronson rope thing, they had ropes.
I mean, on all the Air Force adventures, you ever pull ropes out?
No ropes on our end.
No rope. You didn't need them. Well, this was an area that when they came down, Scott was like, dude, this was a slip, fall, die scenario. You slip, you're gonna fall, and then you're definitely gonna die. And he said, he goes, I do this stuff all the time. But what I really didn't want to happen is me end up being the guy that killed the president's son.
That'd be a career ender. That would be a career ender.
Dad was still president at the time, and he's like, I did not want the president's son to die on my watch. But Don went and did it. He's very comfortable doing stuff like that. It's just a badass dude. But yeah, so it's me, Don, Colin Jones, who was a captain for the Carolina Panthers, played for the Panthers for 9 years.
North Tech. Well, I don't know. Central Texas redneck. Yeah.
He's as elite of a dude as he was a football player. He's just a cool freaking dude. One of my favorite friends.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, we've been friends for 5 or 6 years. He's just one of my favorite dudes. Great family guy. Very smart with business and investment. So he is our CFO. We brought in Dave Etter maybe 6 months ago to be our CEO. Dave is the one that always.
Oh, I thought he was just in charge of good times and comedy.
He really is, dude. But Dave is, look, in business, Dave is next level. He's the guy that people hear us talking about it sometimes, just joking about it. In the middle of a business conversation with a new company, he'll look at him like CEO of a major firearms company and be like, I need to ask you something serious. What's your most recent Pornhub search? And like just totally put somebody on the spot in front of a bunch of their own employees and stuff. And
really?
Yeah, it's just funny. It's a great icebreaker, and there's no wrong answer. The only thing.
No, the answer is your mom.
Yeah. Well, when he asked me that at Don's house one time. The ambassador to the UK's wife was there, and like her, dressed to the nines, wearing all of her jewelry, and like we were standing in Don's kitchen. Everybody got quiet for a minute, and he goes, "So Jay, what's your most recent Pornhub search?" And like everybody in the kitchen turned and looked at me. Just a bunch of fancy folks. And I went, actually, it's Dave Etter. And he's like, man, that's a good answer. But there's no wrong answer. The only wrong answer is for you to dodge that question and not answer, and then none of us trust you. Like we had a big meeting recently where it was like, we asked this dude that like wanted to do some business with us, do some cool things on our digital strategy, and Dave asked him the question. We already like had some reservations there. We got off the phone. And we were talking about, we don't like this, we don't like that. This gives us pause to work with them. And Mike Scobie, who is our COO, our newest hire, he goes, yeah, but that guy also didn't answer the fucking question, and I don't trust him. And so it's just like one of those things, it's kind of become a trademark of ours today.
Where'd Scobie come from?
Scobie was the group publisher for OSG, so Outdoor Life, I'm sorry, Guns and Ammo, Outdoor Channel TV, Sportsman Channel TV, a bunch of big brands are up under OSG, and he was the head of publishing, so Guns and Ammo and some other big publications.
Guns and Ammo. What is Field Ethos doing? What's available, and what are the ambitions? Where are you guys
available
going?
Right now, is we have an online journal where we publish articles from, well-known, outdoor writers, as well as like the next guy that wants to write his first article and has always wanted to get somebody to read one of his articles. So we post a lot of first-time rookies.
Hemingway's grandson
is writing for us, yeah. Patrick, he's fantastic. Patrick Hemingway Adams. We've got some really cool writers. Like one of my favorites is he's a high school English teacher in Mississippi, Josh Kwong, and he and I have just become good friends since I started Field Ethos. And we've got some good writers on that stuff. So we're also doing a podcast. So. And you have been gracious enough to like help me figure out how we're going to do the video version of our podcast.
Well, I hate to give Thomas credit because he's being a little bit of an
he's
asshole
really
this week.
good.
But he has set up a tremendous podcast. He's incredible.
I
know.
He
heard the terrible podcast because you've been on the podcast before, but we just did it on the phone. I thought it was super charming. It was just audio. Thomas like, this has potential, but it sucks. You're stupid. Let me make it great.
Yeah, and he has. He has.
And
This is like my favorite podcast to watch.
Oh, thank you.
So I love the style that you guys do it. I love the banner between you and Jay. Jay's been like a huge disappointment to me over the last 2 days.
Sick, man.
Because he just hasn't been talking at all. Mike's in the back. Mike's agreeing. He's
Maybe
like,
we should pause. Wait, let's put him on the spot.
Yeah,
all
what do I
right.
need?
So I have some questions for him. But you
No,
go
I
ahead.
have a
Let's-
question.
Let's give Jay some attention. What?
What's your most recent Pornhub search?
It was actually this morning. It was Jason Vincent amateur casting,
Okay. All right.
which was the 12-minute video that you did.
All right.
So did you see any boys you liked?
Jason Vincent was in there. I liked him a bit.
A good performance on my part.
Yeah, it was amateur for sure, but it was.
It's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, that's what I
Kind
was
of the whole
looking
point,
for.
Jay.
Exactly, you did a good job.
I like that 70s amateur type, but whatever.
So that was good. What
I was
else?
excited about it.
I just wanted more talking from Jay the last 2
All right,
days.
let's give him a chance.
One of the things is that like I had heard Kevin's point of view from a lot of the Africa trip and
Yeah.
some of the stories, like little bits and pieces. But
He's
I hadn't
trying to
heard-
find where I'm lying.
No,
Good
not
call.
even. Yeah, no. But hearing everybody else's point of view too, and like I heard the story about the zebra from Kevin's point of view, but
Yeah.
not from the other point of view and the zebra.
Mike,
Dookie.
that's where you dropped your phone in Dookie.
Yes, I
There was also a lot of like spectating going on yesterday because Ray just got so shit faced
Yeah, he
and
was
everybody was
cooked.
watching him. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
So
was cooked.
no, I understand why you kind of took the spectator role yesterday. There's a lot going on, and we were talking about something that
Was
we're all
intense.
talking about a trip that you didn't get to go on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Keep
but-
crashing shit. You know what going on.
So
know,
yeah,
yeah.
so but back to what we're doing. We suspended our podcast. We're doing audio only podcast, like I did when I was on your podcast.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy with the sound quality. I wanted to do a video version of it, but just really up the overall user experience for somebody that wanted to hear what we had to say. So I put the pause on that, and we are going to relaunch the podcast. We will be doing 4 print journals a year starting 2022.
That's interesting.
We've
Print.
got some
Do you
cool
kids
stuff.
read print these days?
I do, but I know it's not as popular.
No, it's not.
as, with the kids, but I do. I like.
I
a
love
lot.
it. Like
Yeah.
I love it. So we're gonna do 4 issues a year. So we're not gonna bombard you with shitty little thin magazines that have just a bunch of advertisements all over the front. It's gonna be very like there's not gonna be a ton of ads in there. It's gonna be native inclusion in some of the articles, the products we're using from our sponsors. Full page ads, so you're not getting like a page where there's like 14 different ads on it or whatever. So I think it'll be really good looking, but it's gonna be general man shit, a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, a lot of adventure, but also like what's the best way to win a bar fight, man? What is like the next cool overlanding vehicle?
Hit first.
yeah,
Overlanding,
always
no,
hit
no.
first.
Hit first. Yeah.
Always hit first.
I thought Jay would have some advice.
Yeah. Ask them a question when they start answering. Hit 'em,
Smack 'em.
and then run.
Smoke them. Yes, yes.
and then run.
100%. 100%.
Don't wear Crocs in
Maybe
the bar.
we'll get you to
no.
write. Maybe we'll get you to write one of those.
I got one for you.
So
sure.
we have kind of a rotating list on our editorial schedule that's like themes that we want in each magazine. Like it's not always going to be the same type of article. We're not going to do like
Was that the format for the like your blog now or your website where you guys are posting content? Is it kind of the same format?
yeah, it's the same format. Like I try to do a hunting related article, a fishing related article, something culinary, or maybe an good recipe for your next bourbon drink or
Old fashioned.
some travel stuff. But I really like the throwback stuff, like the
Well, yeah, I was going to say with the Instagram, you do a great job with that. Some of the
Thanks.
pictures, oh my God, the one the other day with the guy coming out of the drink with
the sewer. Yeah, coming out of the sewer with his
with some rat and a 22 with a silencer on it in like
Yeah.
the 1920s or
and the dude's
30s.
like ear to ear grin, like he's just been down there hunting rats in the sewer. And he's just so stoked.
Great. You guys have a great sense for that. That's one of my favorite Instagram
I
accounts.
love running our Instagram because I love doing the Sunday Q&A because it's a really cool time for us to connect with the people that follow our brand. They ask questions. Sometimes I'm a huge smartass. Sometimes I give them like the best answer that I can come up with.
This is basically dependent upon the engagement of alcohol.
Yeah. So I had quite a bit to drink on Sunday on the way here. I hit the Delta Club hard and then drank on the flight and then started answering some questions on the airplane. But it makes it, that stuff is fun. Like, I think if you looked at my behavior the last 2 days, you'd be like, Jason might be an alcoholic. but I'm not at all.
I know. I mean, all the bros are here.
All the bros are here.
Like from our Africa hunt, and it just turned into a fucking frat party, bachelor party. Yeah. And then, it's even like yesterday after the podcast. Like, I did not have another drink, and I'm just crying to Yvonne all day. Like, I threw up. Listen to me. I slept 3 hours the night before.
Yeah.
You guys got here, fucking Mike comes in at 2 a.m.
Yep.
We got to feed him. We go to bed at 4. We get up at 7. And I'm old. I was just dead yesterday.
Yeah, dude.
Fell asleep in the office. They're building the guns. She's like petting my head. But I'm like, I just want to go to bed.
Being old isn't even like, Ray's not old. And earlier I was going to be like, oh, he can drink, but he very much cannot drink.
But he rallied yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Good for him. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I've got a video of him throwing up in the bathroom at Q.
Yeah. I've got a good picture of him on the toilet, like throwing up the deuces.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
You guys are so mean.
No, I mean,
man, then yesterday for dinner, we get back, he's like completely normal. He like throws up. And it's a 3-day recovery for me being that shit-faced.
It was an epic rally on his part. Yeah.
We had I think that is a testimony to the strength of our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone pitched in.
100%.
Ivana got him some like soup and bread or whatever.
She was so worried
Jason built him
about
a little bed on the floor in the shop.
Yeah.
Danny and I told her, stop worrying about him. Leave him alone. And Danny, his best friend's like, pretend he doesn't exist right now. Ivana, it's fine, baby.
He didn't for a couple hours.
And she sneaks out, steals a car, and goes and gets some soup and soda water and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is, I'm the only one that deserves that treatment here.
Disgusted that she would help. Just disgusted that she would help him.
I mean, she's just Eastern European, gonna take care of
the nerve.
Her dude and all the boys, all of his idiot friends. And she's like, baby, you bring your idiot friends here. They are my idiot friends. I'll take care of them.
The nerve of that woman to help one of our friends.
No. How dare her?
How dare her help our friend?
She's a great friend.
I don't know, like what you're talking about with the 4 issues a year, whatever the little books you guys are doing, or journals.
Yep.
Periodicals.
Periodicals, yeah. Have you seen it? It kind of seems along the same lines. Have you seen what Forward Observations Group did with? They've done. I think they're on their 3rd one now. They did coffee table books, but along the same lines, but within like the soft community and like federal law enforcement stuff like that. But just kind of reaching out to guys in their community and said, hey, write us an article, and guys put in workouts, they put in stories from deployments, just anything. And
Jason and I'll be showing workouts. It's like this.
Yeah. But I mean, it did great. So I mean, we talked earlier
very
about
similar how we did it. No, I have not seen theirs. I will now that you mentioned that. I'll go out and grab one. But no, I just wanted
they've
to
gained a lot of following social media.
But I mean, it's just a testament to the idea of that print isn't as popular as it used to be. But if you do it the right way, people want it.
It can be. Well, it's probably what Jason, I think, is trying to do, too, so we'll just keep cutting them off, is connecting
right.
with who your true demographic is.
Yeah, creating that community.
Yeah, not being full of shit.
I'll tell you what we're doing, and maybe they're doing the same thing. We wanted our audience to also be the storyteller. Like, we wanted to give a voice to people.
It's so nice when your customer is also your employee.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Well, you're like, you there are a lot of people out there that have amazing stories. They might not be the best writer, but they have like a really cool story to tell. Well, we compare them up with an editor and be like, okay, write your story. And then we're going to help you edit it to where you would be proud to see it in print.
Yeah.
Right. And so
because
of cool stuff like that.
As we talked about yesterday, and as you know, anyone that spends any time hunting, and I don't care to what degree, because everybody, their ability to go and hunt and access to it's all different. And so I've kind of learned that over the last 10 years, like honor everyone in any capacity that goes and hunt.
Yep.
Because, that's conservation, that keeps what we're doing alive, and it's like this idea of seeking the adventure, the outdoors, and all that sounds corny, but it's like true. But if you go on 10 hunts, and I don't care if it's hunting in your backyard.
Yep.
I reserve the right to change my mind. My current belief. You go on 10 hunts, you are going to have an absolutely amazing story, something that will never repeat itself.
100%. Yep.
Just 10 times. It doesn't matter where. I could do it in my backyard here. I'm going to see some crazy shit that I'm going to be like, oh my God, it was insane.
And even at the level that Ray was talking about, amongst other unintelligible words or whatever he was saying, even those 10 times can change the way you look at everything. Even just like you said, in your local area, it can it can change the way you view your world.
Yeah,
So
or
ours-
sharing it with friends. Like when we went to Africa. Yeah, you're cut off again. We share it with friends, and we have all these great adventures. Mike dropped his phone in Zebra Dookie, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Jason and I just died laughing at it. Or even when we're here. This reminds me of we're doing the podcast. I'm looking at you. Bald eagle lands in the yard, grabs an animal, takes off.
Yep.
Amazing adventure.
You got a fucking rat or something. I love that. I love that outburst.
It
on
was
yours.
so good, but it was so genuine. I was so stoked. I'd seen that eagle a couple of times, and for him to swoop down the yard like 50 yards from us and grab an animal.
Well, on our if you look at the About Us section of our webpage, we specifically say we want to show the adventures in the far corners of the world, but also the adventures just outside of town.
Yeah.
Like where you want to go deer hunting, where you grew up deer hunting with your granddad. And I would say I feel like the hunting narrative has just lost the adventure perspective. It's like a bunch of to me, a bunch of fat rednecks took over the Outdoor Channel TV one day and just made hunting all about hooting and hollering from a deer stand and shooting the next biggest buck. And that's what the non-hunting community's perception of hunting ended up being over the last 20 years.
Well, yeah, it's presented that way. Well, I will say I also love that.
I love it.
And I love going to my backyard here. I love shooting prairie dogs, groundhog. I love whitetail hunting in Africa. And then also the idea of you do not have to be wealthy to hunt.
No, dude.
And
And you don't have to be wealthy to turn a hunt into an adventure. So if you have...
Pick fun friends. And
Pick
you can
fun
be
friends.
a poor redneck and you go on a hunt just outside of town. You
But
have the
what I
best
would
time
tell
of your
somebody
life.
like that is look, you're hunting, you're out there deer hunting, whatever, and that's great. You guys are doing it cool. But how about this? How about when you're done on Friday afternoon and your deer hunt, don't come home, man. Set up a tent. You and your friends throw up a tent on the property, build a bonfire, have a few beers, stay up, and then go to sleep in a tent. Right. Don't come home from your property for the whole weekend, and it will turn that deer hunt into a little bit of an adventure with your friends, man.
Well, I think it's where you sound old because now, I look at it and I think of my kids at their age, which my children are older than yours. Mine are high school.
Yeah.
And it's like the age of Instagram and where, they all think, oh, if you get popular on Instagram, you're rich. It's but the idea of keeping up with that, or that's actual real life. But no, the idea of going out and connecting, and you go on this hunt, but if you can spend time with your friends and, in a tent, in the woods. I mean, we're in Africa the whole time. We hardly have cell service.
Yep.
We had the greatest adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And-
be a little uncomfortable, and it's gonna initiate an adventure.
The discomfort is so rewarding in so many ways.
It really is, man. And there's all those trips out there that if you feel like you can't afford to take a hunting adventure, it's just not true. You can go to the next state over and set up a tent with your friends, and I promise you'll have an adventure to tell a story about when you get back. And I just feel like, one, we've lost our sense of adventure. We make things a little bit too easy on ourselves a lot of times. And then I feel like we've lost the ability to be honest about who we are in the outdoors and why we do what we do, because the woke community has come in and they've made everything about, we hunt for food. I want to put clean protein on the table for my family. Like if I hear somebody in my presence say I hunt for clean protein, I'm going to shake the shit out of them.
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, no, it's pervasive in the industry now. So, I don't hunt to feed my family. Like I do feed my family with what I bring home from hunting, but that's not why I go. I mean, I'll go get organic food at fucking Whole Foods.
Well, I hate when we get criticism. I think I've gotten it about trophy hunting.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, fuck you.
Yep.
If you want a trophy hunt, go trophy hunt. That's great, because if you're trophy hunting, you're also participating, whether it's you're buying tags, you're participating in conservation, you're culling mature animals.
Yep.
So you're allowing, a less mature animal to kind of rise up within that herd and be the dominant whatever in that area.
But mine and your trophy hunting version is different than some others. Like you and I went to Africa. Yes, we were trophy hunting because we want these really cool animals. But my favorite trophy from that trip was that super old water buck that I've never taken a tape measure to any animal I've ever killed, not one. I have no idea what any of my animals would score. I don't score them. It's fine if you do. Alan Bolin, who's our archery editor, I joke with him about he hunts in Alaska or backcountry, British Columbia and stuff. And I'm like, do you hide tape measures out in the wilderness when you're out there just so you always have one when you need one? Because like he straight up chases records. He chases the record book
Well,
stuff.
I think that's
And I think
okay
that's very
too.
cool.
Yeah, I think any kind of hunting you want to do, if it's just you want to cull,
Yep.
if you've got you live out west and you've got a prairie dog problem and you want to solve that because you want to have cattle on your property, like anything you want to do to go and hunt is perfectly okay. If you want to go to high fence and you want to shoot the biggest, red stag ever, that's great too. I mean, it's all contributing to what we love. And I enjoy like every aspect of it. Like I'll go shoot anything. Like I don't care.
Yep.
And the more I go, and the more I mature as a hunter, and I get to experience different things. Now I'm getting things that I enjoy more than others, but there are very few hunts, or none, that my friends will ask me about that I don't. If they want to go, like if you tell me you want to go to what's that thing you just sent me the other day? It was so weird.
The
Nutria
picture
or whatever.
Oh.
The what?
What's the little animal? The rodent thing?
Oh, yeah, nutria is an
The
animal.
nutrias?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
In Louisiana.
Swamp rat.
Yeah. You sent me that and like, hey, let's go on this hunt. And I'm like, fucking hey.
Yeah, let's go to Louisiana and shoot some nutria.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm like,
Well,
that
like
seems
swamp
like
rats.
a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's all kinds of fun little things you can do with that. I will say that like you and I hunted together every day for 2 weeks in Africa.
It's a great
And
time.
we
How'd that
just
go?
man,
And we made two friends that'll last a lifetime.
yeah, for sure. Guy and
Pelletier.
Guy and Rad. We'll be friends with those guys for the rest of our lives. And we'll make a priority to see them and spend time with them, even though they're half a world away, you know, or literally on the other side of the world. But we will, like, good enough friends that we will always make an effort to spend time with them every year if we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you and I shot a bunch of animals. I mean, we shot a lot.
This is where we should brag. It wasn't just a bunch. Like, so there were 6 of us there, and we carried the weight.
Oh, we did. We did. But also, you and I have been there before. And we just took a way more cavalier approach to our hunt.
Yeah.
It was like, we're not there to, like I said, we're not there to shoot the biggest animals. We want to shoot some good old animals, some good animals that are going to make good camp meat. So we did it. I think between me and you, we shot like 31 or 30 animals in our truck.
Oh, no, we shot more than that.
Did we?
30.
I think I shot 9.
No, you shot more than that.
Did I?
I thought you shot 12.
No, I did not shoot 12. I think
You
I
didn't?
shot 9 or 10 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, you're right.
But
So over 30.
over 30, and those people are still eating the animals you and I saw. But yeah, just a great, chill, relaxed time, riding around, drinking beer, me, you, Guy, and Rad, and just having honestly, we were just riding around talking and goofing off in the truck, and every once in a while we'd shoot an animal.
Guys being dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. And I mean, it's not for everyone, but I think if you're into firearms and you have any idea of adventure, and then you can take the time to really understand conservation. Because, I grew up like Mike, our buddy Mike, in the city, and my family didn't hunt. I wasn't involved in that. And so learning as an adult, so I started hunting around the age of 30 or so. And I don't know, maybe even a little older. But, I bought a piece of property and I started trying to grow big whitetail in Georgia, and I planted and fed year round, started understanding. And then you understand like conservation in other countries. You think about like South Africa where we were, and they shut down hunting for over a year. And all the elephants that didn't get shot in that year. And then everyone loves elephants. They're in the circus. They're at the zoo. They're so cool. But they're huge animals that are destructive to the habitat of all the other animals we want to see. And you have to manage that population, or something's going to go extinct, or a bunch of somethings.
Yeah.
And understanding that you got to do that. Like you have to cull animals, and animals like an elephant that are wildly destructive.
Yep. Destructive villages, crops, as they come in closer to villages, and there's human elephant contact. People get killed. And there are areas where the elephant numbers don't support hunting, And I would be 100% on board with anybody that stepped into that area to hunt an elephant being prosecuted. I mean, I'm a former game warden myself. So,
yeah, that's right. I meant to mention that. So we didn't get a lot in your background, but we did a podcast with you before. But yeah, you grew up in the South, former game warden. You've had a different path than me. You've arrived to where you are, but people should listen to that. But I think, yeah, when you talk about there are places that doesn't support. So we live in New Hampshire, and I love hunting. And there's a lot of good hunting in New Hampshire, but not nearly what you and I are used to. And so I don't really partake in it here, but I've got 100 acres close by, about 30 minutes from here. And I live on a nice property here. Mm-hmm. And, you saw the minute you got here, we had a deer in the backyard. And it was just a white-tailed doe. I was so excited because it's so rare you see animals here. So I plant in the back of the property for the deer, and I feed them year-round. And just in hopes of seeing them.
Not to hunt them.
I would never shoot a deer on this property. I would be so upset because we have so few.
Yeah.
For me, it is like when Ivana or I see a deer in the house and we have binoculars upstairs in our bedroom window and then downstairs in the main part of the house, we have those binoculars right there. We have a little ledge right there next to the windows just so you can watch them. And when you see a deer here, it is like a celebration.
I did notice how excited you guys got.
It is a freaking white-tailed doe. But it's like, this is the environment we live in currently, right here. She and I live here full time. So
there's a big doe, pretty doe.
Yeah, no, she's beautiful. And there's
but
just
had you been on your farm in Georgia, you would not have gotten that excited to see a white-tailed doe.
I would not have cared at all.
Yeah.
But also our 100 acres. So about 30 minutes from here. So she and I go twice a week at least, and we shoot there and do stuff. But we also plant there, and we have trail cameras, and we feed there. And, we put out feed every week. And, it's exciting to see a buck on a trail camera there. Like just a buck. We've got like a small herd of does that kind of live on the property or close by, and they're there every day, and we feed them. And we see some turkeys. But, for a year, I've had trail cameras and feed. I've never seen a coyote on the property. Like, it's just a long winter here.
Yeah.
And so a lot of animals can't survive.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of farmland here, so there's just not a lot of animals.
Well, and like you said, if it's an area that supports hunting, great, we'll hunt. If it doesn't make sense, we just won't hunt there.
Yeah.
And
I'm still spending thousands of dollars a year just to feed these animals just so we get a peek at them like once every other day.
Yeah. I don't know. And part of that is because I think people think that hunters they don't love wildlife.
Oh.
God, nobody loves wildlife more than us.
Nobody.
You're doing that because you love that wildlife. You want to see them.
If you say you love animals because you've seen them online or you watch them on television, like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if you hunt. Go to Crusader safaris. Then go on a safari and just see the animals in person. It doesn't cost that much money right now. It's cheap to go to South Africa.
Yeah.
You and your spouse or whatever could spend, I don't know, probably with flights, $7,000 and go to Jay, God dang it.
Sorry.
And you could spend probably less than $7,000, go to South Africa, including your flights, spend a week and a half, have your laundry done, have a chef, and someone take you out every day and see and photo safari.
Yep.
And see the real outdoors. And then ask those people that live there what it takes. Like the ranch we were on, the primary property is continuous 480,000 acres, I think you said.
Yeah.
But they're sheep and cattle, and they have 100 employees.
Yep.
100 employees.
Massive operation.
Big operation. But, you feel bad about shooting an animal. So the way an animal dies in the wild is it starves to death or it's eaten alive by another animal. It's pretty much the two ways. And here, a bullet is the best death, and you feed all of these people.
100%. And it's Africa, and people look at what we do there, and they might hear, man, you guys shot 30 animals or 31, whatever the number was, I don't know, but people be like, God, that's excessive. And you're like, let me tell you something, dude.
Yes, it is.
Every ounce of that meat, or every ounce of that animal is going
every
to
ounce
use.
of the animal.
Yes, like literally, there's nothing wasted. They cut the stomach out. They empty the grasses out of the stomach lining. They clean that out. They wash it out, and then they fry it and they eat it. I mean, it's everything. So if there's one area of the world where you can shoot 30 animals and be proud of it and know that all of that meat's going to good use, it's in Africa, man.
We both know, being there and seeing all the people that work on that ranch, every single part of that meat, those people, the people that work there were so excited.
They value that. They truly
Yeah,
value
especially after over a year of no one shooting animals.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what they were eating the whole time, but
Yeah.
probably not as good as after we left. And then for me, just the hides. Like, I'm not ashamed of the trophies. Like, I get the skulls and the horns. I don't really do many shoulder mounts, but I get the hides.
Yep.
And so, in this house where it's all hardwoods and stuff like that, I use the rugs.
Yep.
And about once a year, you got to change them out.
Yep.
So it's useful, but yeah, they really do use every part of the animal.
Yep.
And the ranches that are ambitious, I mean, they even send like the dicks to Japan because they're weirdos.
Yeah.
So whether it's pixelated porn or whatever, they freeze dry the units and then grind them up, put them in tea and shit. But
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
everything.
Kudu dick tea.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We had some earlier.
You
I don't
did?
know.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. When I got here.
So,
You were still upstairs.
Well, I do notice that you have perked up a little bit since this podcast started.
it's the kudu.
oh,
big
he's
tea.
standing at attention now.
Yes.
It's the penis.
It's the kudu, yeah.
It's so funny. If that ranch didn't employ those 100 people, they would probably be homeless.
Yeah, I mean, they if they got lucky, they could farm somewhere. If they got lucky, but it employs a lot of people. Safari hunting employs a lot of people. Hunting in general employs a lot of people. But
And what's so funny is you think like hunters cause extinction.
Yeah.
How many African animals do you think would be extinct if it weren't for hunting?
Oh, man.
Because then instead of this animal being worth just the meat, it's worth 10 grand, 5 grand,
Yep.
20, 50 grand.
that's
So
a
that
that's a
feeds
very
village
real
for
thing, dude. That's a
Yeah.
very real thing. And one thing I do want to plug a little bit, and it's something cool that you and I are doing together, is this Q Fix Field Ethos Q collab
Oh yeah.
with some Rhodesian camo on it.
Man, Jay's involved. He sent the first prototype out. I should get it back for I'm going to Africa in August. I'm gonna have the prototype there. So yeah, so we decided there when we met Guy. So he was one of our PHs and also the videographer.
Yep.
So he's got 30 years experience being a PH in Southern Africa, not just South Africa. The most amazing guy.
Awesome, dude.
So
Awesome,
fucking cool.
dude.
And he was a Rhodesian soldier.
Yep.
In the late 70s and early 80s. And so he started out in the police and then as a soldier. And he had the greatest stories.
Yep. And he still refuses to call it Zimbabwe. He still calls it Rhodesia. And we're like, let it go, buddy. But no. So we're gonna do a, really the only perspective I added to it was just to say let's do some Rhodesian camo, and then we both decided that we're going to do a 308 to honor kind of that FAL Rhodesian rifle that they used, and so going to be Rhodesian camo.
16-inch,
16-inch.
compact, lightweight gun you can hunt with there.
Yeah, and some of the proceeds
Flip
will go.
up iron sights.
Yeah, it'll be sick. Some of the proceeds will go to benefit Eco Defense Group, and they don't even know that yet. Maybe they'll hear that for the first time on this podcast.
And what do they do?
So they send former Tier 1 operators over to Africa to train indigenous game wardens over there. And one thing I can say, since I was a game warden, is that there's nothing more valuable to your safety and you being able to complete your mission than your training and being properly trained and know how to handle certain situations. Well, the game wardens in Africa, they call them rangers, they're always underfunded. Always underfunded. They always need always need gear. Massively underfunded. They don't have the right gear. You don't have the right tools for the job, and that's where
the
these
primary
guys are.
thing is even training.
The training thing, because look, if you're talking about the rhino trade, or rhino horn.
Also, the Japanese, they're the ones wanting the horns.
I think it's more the Chinese, but it is certainly Asian market that wants the rhino horn.
Look at me run stereotypes like
I
fucking
think
Scrabble on.
I do think rhino horn, and I read this the other day, and I'll have to send you the stats on this, but I do believe that ground rhino horn by weight is the most valuable substance on the planet right now.
That's so crazy.
And then
they just think that's going to give you like the excessive hard on when you're old.
yeah, like you're getting ready to turn into John Holmes once you take that stuff. But so these guys are combating the illegal rhino trade, illegal elephant ivory trade, and pangolins and stuff like that. So super high value things.
That just sucks because I would love elephant ivory here in my home, but to me, just because like I go there, I experience it, it's part of the adventure. And like, I don't need 100 sets of ivory. I need like one. But now I can't even bring them in.
Well, to me, all you really need is a photo. Like a really cool photo.
I don't know. I kind of want the ivory.
But so these guys, so game wardens over there, it's a very different experience than it is here. When you're dealing with guys that make a ton of money poaching these animals, this is not your typical, I caught you baiting ducks in a duck pond. This is like, we're going to get in a shootout.
Yeah, they're going to kill you.
They're going to try to kill you. So these rangers need next level training. They need the best gear. Eco Defense provides that. They go over, they send, so the tier 1 operators that we talked about, that we won't mention their name, they are the best trainers in the world. You've got certain ops groups that are like just really good at field work, and these guys are very good at field work. You have some stories about these guys that these are ninjas, but they are very good at training indigenous forces. That spec ops group is the best at training.
Yeah, I want my great grandkids to be able to go to Africa and hunt.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do so. We hadn't worked out the details, but so we're gonna offer these guns for sale.
Yep.
So we're going to donate some stuff, and we're going to donate some money to them, try to raise awareness.
Yep. And it's going to be really cool. We get to support a cool group. You and I get to collaborate on a fun rifle, pick out some, just make something really cool that people would want. And when they buy it, they also are investing in Eco Defense Group.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rifle that, pretty much what I used when I was in Africa hunting.
Yep.
And what you would want to hunt plains game with.
Yeah.
But Rhodesian camo, so a little, an ode to our buddy Guy.
I will say...
and it looks cool, Jay, right? Like,
I like
Rhodesian, and it's cool with the
right
hipsters.
now.
Yeah. I will say, like, to me, it will be the ultimate Africa utility rifle. Everybody on that trip, the hunters, but also the... guides, PHs, Andrew, everybody saw the fix, and they saw us riding around with them folded up in the vehicle, able to get out quickly and deploy the rifle.
Or shoot through the window like me, like a badass.
Or Kevin just
three species. And
Kevin
no
just drive by and the animals out the window. But everybody
Unapologetic.
Everybody saw like just the performance.
You're right.
Of it.
Every PH wants one of the
everyone
has
everyone has said, can you? Every one of those guys in Africa was like, please figure out a way to get me one of these rifles.
Yes, I'm going to do it because I want to go over there and live a few months at a time.
I mean, they were calling their friends, telling their friends about the rifles while we were in the truck hunting. Like Rad's calling his buddies, who's like, big time gun.
You're not going to believe this crazy bald American guy. He's got this guy. We just shot a jackal at the window at 1,000 meters. He's like, what? He's on fire.
It's crazy.
Maybe it wasn't 1,000. I don't know.
This guy, it was more like 80 yards, but
feels like 1,000.
Yeah,
maybe 50. Yeah.
On one X on your scope, it might have felt like it was 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stress. It was like, shoot the fucking jackal! Shoot the fucking jackal! Shoot the fucking jackal!
Yeah, Rad's really good at keeping his clients calm.
No, he's terrible at that, but he's a great time.
He's really good at keeping you calm up until it's time to shoot, and then he starts screaming at you.
Mike, is he good at keeping you calm?
No, he's the worst.
No, he's not good at that at all.
He is the worst. But man, those guys... We just can't say enough good things about them. We had so much fun.
I love them. I mean, they feel like family, just like you guys. I mean, everyone on the hunt.
You and I are going back to see them soon.
Well, yeah. Are you going in August or November?
I'm going in August.
You're going in August.
Yeah.
So I'm going in August, and I'm going back in November.
I'll probably go with you in November, too, just to make sure everybody's safe.
You should.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
my
to make
God.
sure everybody has a good time, has cold beers. I'll just be the beer. Be on the back with Guy handing you guys beers through the windows.
It's so hard to explain, but if you're the guy on the back handing out the beers, it's worth spending $5,000 to get there. Like, you will have $20,000 worth of fun.
Dude, you don't have to shoot anything.
No, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, just perspect. Not just perspect, just spectate. And just you can have a great time.
Wrong word.
Perspect.
Just perspect.
Just perspect.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a new word?
Yeah. I heard Ray say it yesterday, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And, I mean, he's an attorney, so it's got to be legit.
Just spectate, not perspect.
Yeah.
Whatever, Jay.
We can perspect as well.
Yeah, right. I think you started over-talking at some point during this podcast. You overshot the sweet spot.
Compensating.
So, Jay, what do you think? What's a way for you and I to discuss some stuff that's about to happen that Thomas can't edit it out?
I don't know. He can edit, and he's a master of editing.
He's an asshole. All right.
Crusader Safaris.
Oh, go do it.
Okay. Top points of this one. Crusader Safaris.
Field Ethos.
Field Ethos.
So
the new
it's
Q
growing.
rifle.
Yeah. Oh.
The new Q rifle we're going to do.
And don't judge Don by all the actions of his father.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
his father, great dude, not really into guns. Don and Eric are outdoorsmen. Don is a complete stud.
Yep.
Dave Etter is got a real comedic vein running deep through him.
Yep. We all love Michael Murphy.
Yep.
Mike Murphy. I mean, when we talk Mike Murphy, when we talk Danny DeRica, I mean, Ray and Danny,
Or a
like,
team.
what a love story.
Yeah.
Third grade best friends. And the stuff that even Ray and his train wreck being here, he's like, hey, Danny's birthday's coming up. I got this thing. Can you guys do this thing?
Yeah.
And like, what a sweet son of a bitch.
Ray is the train wreck that you always want around.
Yeah. Or if you commit crimes. I'm not saying I do that. But maybe Jay does sometimes. Like, you need an attorney.
Yeah.
So, because Christine's not always available.
No.
She's busy doing
We
other
consider
stuff.
Ray to be a very valuable member of our friend group. Yeah.
Ray, I mean, there's everyone invaluable. And
Yeah.
Gabe, I'm upset with Gabe because he's not here. So I had a.
We'll see Gabe
I
soon.
gave him a slight on the toast yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm unapologetic, just like Field Ethos, about going to the outdoors. I cannot wait to our next adventure next year as a group. I can't wait for you and I in August in Africa. And I'm going to start building my lodge there, so fuck everybody else.
Yep.
And then in November, taking the engineers. I hope you do that. And whatever adventures we can go shoot rats in Louisiana. Dude, I'm all about it.
Yep.
I'm all about any adventure. So the main thing, Q is awesome.
Yes.
Jason, Field Ethos, awesome. Mike Murphy, go get you some shooting lessons from that man.
Hell yeah.
Practical shooting lessons.
Hell yeah.
So Jay is,
Sick.
got the COVID.
Yeah, I got
But
some.
they have a show. Hours North has a show July 4th in
4th.
Algonquin. So that's where Tommy peels paintings.
Will it already have happened? Yeah. For
Hey,
sure.
one
Yeah.
thing I forgot to mention yesterday when we were talking about this whole COVID test was that when we went to get our COVID test
Oh, God.
and they took us into the ghetto, I was getting out of the van. I grabbed my rifle case. The guy's like, you can leave your rifle case in the van. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, dude. Yeah. Like,
No, just leave
the
it.
rifle,
Oh.
like, I wanted a set of handcuffs to handcuff my case to my wrist.
This is
So
not even an exaggeration.
We walk
Oh, I forgot about
into
this.
we
Good
walk
story.
into the place, and the lady looks at me carrying my rifle case into the clinic, and she goes, "What's in the case?" I go, "That's a keyboard." And she
I don't
goes,
even know that he said that. Like I
did.
think I took over with my acute like social.
No,
and
I did. I
awareness.
told her it was a keyboard and that we were in a band.
She asked
Hell
me,
yeah.
and I said a bassoon. She's like, "What's a bassoon?" I was like,
Hours North.
and
Listen to him.
she's like, "Are you in a band?" I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Have I ever heard of you?" And she goes like, "You seem important." I was like, "I am important."
Yeah, Hours
She's
North.
like, "You're in a band?" I said, "Yes, Hours North."
Yeah.
He did do that,
Yeah, totally.
and she by the
And
time
she said,
we
"What do you
finished-
do?" And I said, "I'm the lead singer."
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time we were finishing bribing them and getting our fake COVID test results, she was telling Kevin that she was looking up Hours North on Instagram.
Yeah, and she's like wrote it down. She's like, "I'm gonna follow you guys." That's so cool.
Yeah,
If you're out there, thank you for the follow.
yeah.
Shout out for Hours North. I'm sure he'll edit this out because he's an asshole.
When do those journals come out? For you?
They'll come out Q1 2022 will be our first one, so we're trying to send out maybe January.
far away? When
Jesus.
you're not even a millennial. What generation are you?
I think I am. I was born in '95, so I'm a millennial, I guess. I don't know the years.
I
but
call you a big fat baby.
yeah, I'm that.
Well,
What is that?
it's a little fly. It's
Alright.
a little moth. But yeah,
That-
I'll
that'd
make
be
sure
the
you get
long
one.
guy.
I'll make
Hell
sure
yeah.
you get one on the first release,
Love it.
first run.
I'll get one. I'll pay for one. I'll buy it for sure.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
Support
I'm not
the
the
team.
boss of you. Don sent me. Okay, so I bought some of Don's books on Amazon, and
What his book?
I bought this one was Liberal Privilege. This was his second book, and I bought a bunch of copies of them to give him out. And he asked me if I got any of the books, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I got a bunch of them." And he said, Why did you buy them? Why didn't you just tell me to send some books?" And I go, "Dude, if I ever write a book, you better buy a bunch of copies of that damn thing."
Hey, you support the homies.
Yeah, and he's like, "Man, yes. So thank you for offering to buy the print journal, but I'll also send you one."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
bought my Q rifle, the one that I got drunk and gave away the other day.
You did.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a
the
buyer.
first
I'm a
one.
supporter.
Yeah.
Supporter
You,
of my
you wouldn't
friends.
allow us to give it to you.
I wouldn't
Bought
allow
it.
you to give it to me because I like supporting my friends. So.
Yeah. Well, then you got drunk and gave it away. So
Well, I supported
Then you had to come
another
do
guy,
the podcast.
and he'll be a Q ambassador. And I came up and we built some yesterday.
it was worth it to me for you guys to come up.
Yeah.
I don't
sure.
care. I don't care. Jay, what do we care about? Tell me.
Good times.
Cue motto.
Good time.
Good times.
Good
That's
time.
All
what I
right,
care about.
number one, he's on fire. So my man's coming back from his illness. What's number two?
What do we care about? Good times.
Good times. A little innovation.
That's exactly
little
what I would have said.
innovation.
This is how he keeps his job. What's
Yep.
number three?
Good times. Innovation.
Pussy.